Only one specific type of person lasts longer than a narcissist, and it is never the one you would expect. The people who are usually seen as strong often fall apart when trying to fight them. Those with perfect boundaries simply leave before the real change happens. Jung believed that the unconscious mind makes its choice long before the conscious mind understands why. A narcissist does not bond with people by mistake. They match themselves to a specific nervous system and a history of being tough that fits their own problems, like a key fitting into a lock. But here is the secret no one tells you. The survivor is not the most calm or the most thoughtful person. The survivor is the lonely one who has a special talent for turning the narcissist's poison into their own personal power. This video explains why you were chosen not to be a victim, but as a candidate for a painful transformation. Stay until the end because the very trait that pulled them in is the exact tool that will eventually break their hold over you. You were picked by the narcissist because your early years taught you to put up with things that others would walk away from immediately. The narcissist does not pick a partner based on love or a real connection. They pick based on what is useful. They are looking for a specific tool. When they look around a room or browse online, they are not looking for the most beautiful or the richest person. They are looking for the person who can handle the most emotional work. They are looking for you. But why you? What did you show that signaled them to move in? You showed the small, quiet signs of someone carrying old, unhealed wounds. Specifically, you showed the wounds of a protector. Carl Jung said that the hidden mind shows itself through our daily actions. You might think you are just being kind, helpful, or a good listener, but to a narcissist, your behavior says something much deeper. It says you are wired to put the needs of others above your own reality. This training usually starts in childhood. If you grew up in a home where the adults were emotionally immature, angry, or cold, you had to change to survive. You learned that to stay safe, you had to be useful. You learned to read the room. You watched your parents' faces to see if they were mad or sad, and you changed yourself to fix their moods. If they were loud, you became quiet. If they were sad, you became the therapist. This is a survival trick called fawning. It is the ability to ignore your own gut feelings and instead become helpful to the person who is scaring you. You learned that the only way to get through the chaos was to take it in and quiet it down. Imagine a child watching their mother get angry at home. Their brother or sister runs away, but this child goes toward her, trying to help, making jokes, and trying to fix the mood. At 8 years old, they already knew that making someone else happy was the only way to feel safe. Years later, the narcissist sees that same reaction in you right away. This wound always shows up later in life, often during small moments. You are on a first date. The waiter makes a mistake with the food. The person you are with says something mean or rude to the staff. A person who didn't grow up with trauma would feel uncomfortable right away. They would see this mean behavior as a big red flag. They might even say it was wrong, or they might decide right then that they won't go on a second date. They see the behavior as bad. But you do not see it that way. You try to find a reason for it. Your mind starts making excuses for them. You think maybe they had a hard day at work. Maybe they just care a lot about their food. I should help them relax. You smile. You change the subject and try to fix the tension. You take the weight of their bad behavior onto your own shoulders. The narcissist sees this and knows they have caught their target. They see that you did not ask them to be responsible for their actions. Instead, you tried to fix things. They realize you are a person who will work hard to make them happy even when they don't deserve it. They see a partner who is used to walking on eggshells. This is why they picked you. They need a container. The narcissist carries a huge weight of shame and mess inside, but they refuse to feel it. They need a partner who will feel it for them. They need someone who will worry when they are gone, who will cry when they are cold, and who will try to fix their mess. They need you to carry their dark side. You were picked because you are an expert at lasting a long time. You have an amazing talent for putting up with pain. You can go weeks without getting what you need and you will still stay. You can be insulted and you will still try to be close. You can be ignored and you will still try to connect. To the narcissist, this does not look like love. It looks like a tool. What they never realized is that the same wound that made you easy to use is the wound that eventually makes you impossible to break. Your strength was not a weakness. It was armor that looked like love. They chose you because of your hurt, but you last longer than them because of your inner power. Here is the part that hurts but must be said. Your kindness, your warmth, and your patience were turned into weapons. These are good traits, but without boundaries, they become dangerous. The narcissist did not fall in love with who you are. They fell in love with your trauma response. They saw a person who would never quit no matter how bad it got, because that person believes that love means suffering. But knowing this is the first step to breaking the chain. This is not a prize for being good. It is a sign that you are repeating a fight that started long before them. You are trying to save them the way you wish you could have saved your parents. You are trying to be good enough so you will finally be loved. The narcissist needs you to stay confused. They want you to think you are just a kind person. But you are not just kind. You were trained to put others first, even when it hurts you. And training can be unlearned. This is why only one type of person lasts longer than them. Not the strongest person, but the one who was trained to carry what would have broken anyone else. If you felt something move inside you while hearing this, a hidden truth coming to light, join this path now. Become part of a group built on understanding, awareness, and the kind of change that actually sticks. In the next part, you will see the next reason survivors stay, the hidden biological pull that makes danger feel familiar. You learned that love is something you have to fight for. You learned it comes with high stress. You learned that being close is always followed by being left alone. So when you meet a narcissist and they start the cycle of giving you tons of attention and then pulling away, your body reacts. It knows the pattern. It says, I know this feeling. I know how to do this. The tight feeling in your stomach, the nerves, and the stress are not excitement, they are fear. But because you have confused fear with love for so long, you go toward it instead of running away. It always starts slowly, almost without noticing. You are dating someone new for 3 weeks. They text you every morning. They share songs. They tell you that you are the most amazing person they have ever met. You feel great. Your brain is full of happy chemicals. Then suddenly on a Tuesday, they don't text. You wait. You send a message. They answer 6 hours later with one word. A person with a healthy style would see this and think, that is rude, or they seem messy. I am not interested anymore. They would be turned off by the coldness. But you do not feel turned off. You feel triggered. Your heart starts beating fast. You check your phone every few minutes. You read old texts to see if you said something wrong. You start trying too hard. You try to be funnier, nicer, or more interesting to win them back. The loss of their warmth starts a survival drive in you. You are chasing the happy feeling. You are chasing the relief of them coming back to you. The narcissist knows this without being told. They work on a reward schedule that changes. Scientists call this intermittent reinforcement. This is the most addictive form of training known to experts. It is the same logic that makes gambling addictive. If a slot machine paid out every time you pulled the handle, you would get bored. If it never paid out, you would walk away. But if it pays out sometimes when you don't expect it, you will sit there until you have lost everything. The narcissist is the slot machine. They give you moments of great love, the win, followed by times of coldness or mean behavior, the loss. You stay because you are always waiting for the next win. You tell yourself that the nice version of them is the real version and the mean version is just a fluke. You tell yourself, if I can just be patient enough, the person from the beginning will come back. Jung called this the urge to repeat. It is the hidden drive to go back to the start of our first hurt, to try and fix it. You are putting your childhood needs onto the narcissist. You are hoping that this time, the cold person will finally be there for you. This time you will be good enough to make them stay. You are not just in a relationship with a person, you are in a relationship with your own past. This is why you feel like you cannot leave, even when you know they are lying to you. Your logic knows the truth, but your emotions are stuck in a loop. You are chemically hooked on the cycle of stress and relief. The peace of a healthy relationship feels boring to you because it doesn't have this chemical high. You mistake the lack of drama for a lack of love. This realization hurts, but it is needed. You have to stop calling it passion and start calling it a mess. You have to admit that the magnetic pull you feel is not fate. It is a bug in your survival software. You are trying to find water in a rock because you were taught that rocks are the only place water comes from. The narcissist is not your soulmate. They are a mirror reflecting your unhealed wounds. They fit perfectly into the empty spaces left by your childhood. But they do not fill those spaces. They make them bigger. The moment you accept that this familiar feeling is actually a warning, you start to break the spell. You start to see that the worry you feel is your body telling you to leave, not begging you to stay. You realize that you have been living on hope, the hope that you can change the past by suffering in the present. If you have ever felt your body hold on to someone who was hurting you, recognize that feeling. It is the moment your body stops mistaking terror for love. In the next part, you will find out what happens when your body stops confusing fear for love and how that moment starts the change that ends their power. Waking up begins the moment your survival drive stops protecting the narcissist and starts protecting you, and that shift changes everything. Most people think the goal of the narcissist is to destroy you, and while they do wear you out, the truth is that the narcissist needs you to survive. They do not want to break you so much that you can't work because then you would be useless to the... They want you to stay in a stuck state, working well enough to serve them, but too tired to leave them. The narcissist makes a big mistake. They underestimate the very strength they used. They think that because you have taken the bad treatment for years, you will take it forever. They do not realize that for the type of person who lasts longer than a narcissist, there is a limit. There is a moment where the survival drive changes focus. This is the moment of change. Sometimes it happens in a tiny moment. You are driving home after another fight and suddenly feel a deep, quiet tiredness, the kind that sits in your bones. No tears, no panic, just a calm truth rising inside you. I cannot keep doing this. This change rarely feels like a movie. It feels like a fact. This waking up rarely happens during a big fight. It usually happens in total silence. It happens when you are driving home from work and you feel a wave of tiredness so deep it feels like it is in your soul. It happens when you watch them sleeping, and instead of feeling love or anger, you feel nothing. You look at the person who has controlled your feelings for years, and suddenly they look small, they look ordinary. Carl Jung talked about the process of becoming your true self. He believed this often requires breaking down your fake self. The bond with the narcissist makes this happen. You've tried every way. You tried to be the perfect partner. You tried to be the healer. You tried to be the guard. And you realize that none of it worked. You reach a point where your ego dies. The part of you that needed them to say you are okay simply dies. You realize that no matter what you do, they will never truly see you. You realize that their promises to be better are just words used to get more time. And in this knowing, the fear of losing them goes away. It is replaced by a deep understanding, I am losing myself. And that is the only loss I cannot allow. The shift shows up in moments like this. It is a Friday night. They start a fight just like they have 100 times before. They call you selfish because you want to visit your family. In the past, you would have argued. You would have cried. You would have defended yourself. You would have canceled your plans to prove you are loyal, but this time, something is different. You hear their words, but they don't land. You see their anger, but you don't feel scared. You see the trick. They are trying to make you feel guilty, so you stay home and take care of them. You see how it works? Like watching the parts of a clock move. And because you see it, you don't react to it. You simply say, I understand you feel that way, and you keep packing your bag. This is the moment you stop being the target and start being the observer. The narcissist needs your emotional reaction to feel powerful. When you stop reacting, when you stop trying to explain yourself, you are showing that you have left their world. You have left the game. This waking up often comes with a feeling of being flat or detached. Do not be scared by this. Jung taught that feeling down is often a necessary step. It is your mind forcing you to stop. Your tiredness is telling you that the old way of living won't work anymore. It is forcing you to take your energy back from the world and from the narcissist and bring it back to yourself. You are not detached because you are broken. You are detached because you are tired of living a lie. You are tired of trying to make a broken person whole. You are tired of ignoring your own gut day after day. When you finally say to yourself, I cannot live like this anymore, you are not admitting you lost. You are declaring you are free. You are saying that the cost of the relationship is higher than what it is worth. You are realizing that you are alone in the relationship and you have always been alone. But instead of this scaring you, it sets you free. If you are already alone, then you have nothing to lose by leaving. The survivor lasts longer than them because they eventually see that the bond is not a safety net. It is an anchor. And the strength that kept you holding that anchor for so long is the same power you will use to cut the rope. Your shift shakes the narcissist because it takes away the one thing their whole world depends on, your feelings. When you move from playing a part in the drama to watching how it works, you break the relationship. Their breakdown starts with one truth. It was never your love they needed. It was your energy. They do not need your love the way healthy people do. They need your power. This power, often called narcissistic supply, is any kind of attention that makes them feel real and steady. This supply comes in two ways, and both are valuable to the narcissist. Positive supply is your praise, your kind words, and your warmth. Negative supply is your anger, your tears, and your stress. If they can make you smile, they feel powerful. But if they can make you yell, cry, or lose sleep, they feel even more powerful. Your big emotional reaction proves to them that they exist, that they matter, and that they control how you feel inside. But when you wake up, you stop reacting. You become neutral. You stop explaining yourself because you realize they want to misunderstand you. You stop defending yourself because you know their claims are made up. You stop fighting for the relationship because you realize there is no relationship to fight for. You simply exist calm and unbothered. This neutrality is terrible for the narcissist. It stops them from being able to handle their own inner stress. Carl Jung talked about the idea of psychic energy as a force that moves beto, in people. When you take away your attention, you are physically taking your life force out of their system. They feel this loss deeply. They feel the hole where your focus used to be. When the narcissist feels this shift, and they will feel it right away, they will panic because they cannot handle themselves. They will go through a set of moves to try and get a reaction from you. You need to learn these moves so you can watch them happen without getting pulled in. First, they will usually try to start the cycle again with charm. This is called hoovering. They will suddenly become the person you fell for years ago. They will be kind, helpful, and attractive. They might buy gifts, suggest a trip, or say sorry for things they did months ago. They are trying to make you forget. They want you to ignore the bad stuff and focus on the dream. But because you are awake, you will see this kindness for what it is, a deal. It is a bribe to get you to follow their rules. If the charm does not work, they will switch right away to guilt. They will play the victim. They will say you have changed, that you are cold, or that you are leaving them when they need you most. They might fake being sick or having a crisis to trigger your protective side. They are trying to use your kindness against you, but the observer in you will see that their pain is an act. If guilt fails, they will turn to anger. This is a scare tactic. They will attack who you are, how you look, or what you do. They want to start a fight because a fight means you are still connected. But you will not fight. You will stay steady. You will give them short, factual answers. This lack of reaction breaks their idea of being in charge. When these direct moves fail, the narcissist does not just give up. This is where the fight moves from a private struggle to a public one. When they realize they can no longer control you directly, they will try to control how others see you. This leads to the more dangerous phase of indirect fighting. The first tool of indirect fighting is triangulation. This happens when the narcissist brings a third person into the mix to make you jealous or doubtful. This could be a new person, an ex-partner, or even a friend or family member. They will start talking about how this other person really understands them in a way you do not. They might compare you to them in a bad way. They might say a coworker likes them, or they might spend hours texting someone else while sitting right next to you. The goal is not always to cheat, though they might. The main goal is to make you fight for their attention. They want you to feel unsafe. They want you to work harder to be the favorite again. Jung spoke of the shadow putting itself onto others. In this case, the narcissist puts their own fear of being not enough onto you. They feel empty. So they try to make you feel empty by proving they can replace you. But when you are awake, you do not compete.